Hey yo, it's your boy Sam Duke,
It's your man, Tell McKill.
It's your boy Warren P.
and you are listening to another great episode of
You
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 good,
good,
Good, Bruh.
bruh?
bruh? Like
Welcome
that.
back. Welcome back, folks, to another great episode. Today, I mean, we always talk about vulnerability, but I think today we're going to tackle a different type of vulnerability. I think you sent me this video.
I'm thinking I
I think
did
I
too.
put, I think I put it in my back pocket for a little while, and today I just felt like it was a good day to kind of tackle this topic. Couple of months ago, a young man, and I don't know his name. Is just things take over social media. I'm not gonna try to pretend like I know this guy's name, but this black man, I guess, has been documenting his struggle as an adult with learning how to read. He basically has been going TikTok, explaining to people how he was able to get along, get by, pretend, that he knew how to read all of these years.
Right.
I mean, and just even listening to him, I'm like, man, I would never think to, pretend that I can't see in order for somebody to read something to me, or
Mm.
make it seem like I don't have like my glasses, or
Right.
or just all of the things that he did to get by without knowing how to read. And the level of vulnerability that he showed with trying to learn how to read is something I wanted to share with you guys. And then we can kind of discuss the struggle that we're seeing him go through. Warren, I don't think you've seen this, so I'm
Nah, I
definitely
haven't.
interested to hear what you got
Keep the
to
camera on with
say.
Lauren.
Definitely interested to see what you got to say about this one. But let me go on and share this with you right here.
Be angry and don't learn. Because regardless, this is why people give up. When you see an adult and they be like, "Why you never learn?" Like, because this is what they would have to go through. I don't know if they'll go through it like me, but I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't know how to read and you're an adult and you're gonna start learning how to read, you will not get through this without any vulnerability, bro. Like you don't. Ah! I'm supposed to know this. I'm supposed to know this shit already. Ah! Stay up, baby. Don't give up. Ah, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. You learning, yo. You learning how to read. You learning. That's what it is. Let's go. Let's go. And so Wilbur came home to visit beloved Manor Pile in the barn cellar. His was a strange homecoming. Around his neck, he wore a medal of honor. In his mouth, he held a sack of spider eggs. They're supposed to
You gotta
know this
let me
stuff,
keep
yo.
going.
We're supposed to already know how to read. We're supposed to get this. Let's go. I need it, baby. I need it all. Let's go. Let's go. You breathing. Let's read. Let's go. Let's go. His was strange homecoming. Around his neck, he had a sack spider egg. There is no place like home, Wilbur thought as he placed Charlotte's 540 under unborn children carefully in a safe corner. The barn smelled good. His favorite friends, the sheep and the geese, were glad to see him back. I gotta heal, y'all. Like, if I don't go through this, I'll never learn how to read. Like, I gotta fight my fears. I gotta fight my emotions. They don't own me. I own.
Yeah, that I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. I think when Mikhail tagged me on this, I I was like, I was bawling watching this man go through what he was going through, and I also was thankful, because that level of vulnerability is not something you typically see
Mm-mm.
from a black man on social media, even on social media. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like he put this out to the world, and I was just thankful to be able to see that because you know even though I know how to read, I was able to relate to the struggle. You know, and I didn't like for me, and I'm just gonna speak on what it meant for me watching this guy. It wasn't about reading for me. It was
Mhm.
about the struggle of being a black man in society where you feel like you're supposed to know something and or somebody's supposed to teach you something or you're
Mhm.
supposed to have been in a space where you already know something like and you don't. Like
Right.
for me it's like I'm supposed to know how to be a man and I don't. I'm supposed to know how to be a father. And I've had those moments where I'm trying to learn and those moments where I'm trying to reassure myself, you know, and I mean growing and people who've listened, you guys know I grew up without my father. So, there's a lot of
Right.
times that I kind of was like, you know, bumping myself on the chest, like, you know, I I gotta go through this, I gotta do
Mhm.
this. And so when I saw him, saying, I gotta heal, y'all. I was like, yo, I know some people are looking at this like, oh, this is just he learned he gotta no. I was looking at it like, bruh, we gotta heal.
Right.
That was just my take on it up front. That was just me
Now,
connecting with this brother.
right. What about you, Warren? It's your first time seeing it.
All right, man. First, because I don't want to sound like a hypocrite on a further podcast if we record something later.
Oh
So
Lord.
I want y'all to understand in a lot of cases, me and my brother say this thing. Sometimes there are exceptions to the rule.
Mm.
It isn't always black and white. Sometimes there are exceptions to the rule. So with that being said, I'm gonna get my jokes off first. I can't stand somebody recording themselves, especially men, and crying while doing
Mm-hmm.
it.
Well, yeah, you
It
don't
ain't
even like yourself crying.
Yeah, so I can't stand somebody taking out a phone recording themselves cry. But in this case, it's an exception to the rule. Because for this young man to be vulnerable enough to share to the world that he can't read, like that takes a level of confidence and vulnerability. Because one, you're going to be judged, but two, I feel in his heart that he is doing this to encourage other brothers to overcome their fears or overcome certain things that may be holding them back from bettering
Right.
themselves. And looking at the video, I feel him. Like I feel the pain. I feel the hunger. I feel the patience. I feel the anxiety. I feel the hurt. I feel it all in the video. So many different emotions were shared, but also I feel the encouragement. Like the way he's talking to himself, the way he's motivating himself to get through it, although it's tough. I've told y'all, I talk to myself bad in a lot of cases as far as like motivating myself to do something or just encouraging myself. Man, if you see me driving a car after I done fucked up, like if you look to the window and be like, damn, this nigga in there going crazy, like, or he's spazzing on somebody. In some cases, I'm spazzing on myself to tell myself, hey, you need to be better. You need to do better.
Mm.
So that video to me is encouraging. Um, I mean, I say this: if that brother vulnerable enough to share that he can't read or he has difficulties reading, I don't know how to ride a bike. Like, never learned how.
You mean
Like,
motorcycle?
huh?
You talking about a
Like a
motorcycle or a
like a
bicycle?
Like a
bicycle.
regular bicycle.
Okay.
Like it was embarrassing as a child. Like I remember times my friends would be like, "We going up a hill or going long distances," and be like, "Man, just take your bike and ride with us." Nah, I walk. Well, you can ride my bike if you want to, and I'd be like, "Nah, man, I don't. Nah, I just walk. I don't really do the bike thing like that.
Mm.
I'm too scared to say I don't know how to ride one. And I remember one time my cousin tried to teach me how to ride a bike, and I remember his older brother, my cousin, older cousin, my older brother, and one of the family friends had saw it. It's like, oh, that know how to ride a bike, whatever. And I was just this shit. Like, here you go. Like, I was
That was the end of
embarrassed.
that. Right. That was the
Like
end
I
of
can
that.
remember that moment like it was yesterday.
It's a core
And
memory. It's called a core memory.
and ever since then, I never took the time to ride one. It wasn't until recently I called one of my homeboys and was like, look, I plan on being a father in the next year or so. Everything my dad didn't teach me, or I felt my dad should have taught me, I want to be able to teach my child and more. So,
Mhm.
can you teach me how to ride a bike? And it's just like, all right, shit, I got you. Like,
Yeah.
like I know what you're doing it for. I mean, of course, niggas make their jokes, but at the same time, there was, and I wouldn't expect it any other way. But there was that encouragement there, and seeing that brother not learn how to read, not knowing how to read, it encourages me to, go forward with, learning how to ride a bike, learning things of that nature to where it's like shit, the average person should know how to do. And to see him put himself in a place to where as something even, I mean, yeah, I don't know how to do those two things, but not knowing how to read, which is common to most, and to put himself out there, it's like, all right, Warren, you ain't got no excuse. You have no excuse if this man is willing to put himself out there with reading Charlotte's Web. What book a 7 or 8-year-old should be able to read easily.
Mhm.
It's like shit. I'm encouraged. Like I'm encouraged. As I'm watching him read, like I'm saying to myself, "Come on, brother, you got it. Like it's gonna be all right. Shit, even if you
Yeah.
fuck up."
Yeah.
Hey,
It's homecoming. Go ahead.
when
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he said
Mhm.
when he
You reading
said the
it with him.
line, "Hey, you breathing?"
Right.
I was talking
Yeah.
to somebody, an elder gentleman today, at this event with my wife, and she was like, I don't get how you guys just don't stress. And he was like, "Are you breathing? You
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah.
Like, do you know where your next meal coming from? All right, what you stressing about? Like,
Mm.
what are you stressing about?" And I've always had that logic, especially after my mom passing. And so with other things, but sometimes I do need reminders, like that video that you just shared about, hey man, there's still some shit you need to do. Like, yeah, you can be content with where you are in life, but it's still shit you need to get done. Still shit you need to learn yourself so you can pass on to the next man or next lady. Like, there's still things you owe society more than what you have given it so far. And part of that is learning. Part of that is being on this platform and seeing videos like that. Because I'm going to be 100 with you. I know all of our listeners don't know how to swim, but you need to learn how to.
Mm.
Now, all of our listeners may know how to ride a bike, and I may be by myself on that one, but
Mhm.
but that's where I need to step myself up at. So, I mean, it's encouraging. Like I wish I knew that brother or had that brother's contact, because I would just reach out and just tell him like, "Hey, man, keep going. Like, hey,
Encouraging.
go at your own pace.
Yeah.
It's not a race. It is not a race. You are already ahead of where you were yesterday, and if you keep doing it, pardon me, day by day, shit, man. Like Mikhail, I don't know if Sam has read it, but the autobiography of Malcolm X. Think about where that brother was before he went into jail, and
Right.
when he got out. Like his ability to read, his ability to
Right.
articulate different things. Like,
Insight.
man was a wordsmith
Everything.
because he put the work in every day and didn't overcame his fears and understood what his purpose is. That brother right there is living his purpose by showing the world, like, hey, if I'm going through this, if I'm making myself better by doing this and being vulnerable with it, like, what the fuck is your excuse at the house? And I'm sorry, that's my monologue. I was just really impressed by that brother's courage and vulnerability to help other people overcome their fears.
Mm. I guess it's my turn a little bit. I guess I open with the fact that as we matriculated through college, we had to write papers, right? And I had to write based on the APA standard. and APA, American Psychological Association, just their writing style. And one of the requirements was that we had to write a paper at a level that write it to where an 8th grader could read it. So you couldn't just use big words. You had to explain the big words or break it down metaphorically or try to find a way that it can reach a larger audience. And the 8th grade reading level requirement was based on the average reading level in the United States at the time. So now that number's down to 6th grade reading level. Just found out this year. So that brother is not alone. That's what I'm saying. And what his video for me is doing is hopefully empowering that group. And mind you, it's an average. It's based on an average.
Yeah.
So there's a large group of people in our country that can't read beyond 6th grade level with ease. You know what I mean? So that's number one. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw the video. He's not alone. He's not a unicorn. With that being said, I also took away from him something that was just really hard for me to do. Like, for some reason, and I kind of, to borrow your word, Warren, I take it, for some reason, I have this weakness. I don't like that word. I have this weakness where I need cheerleading. It's hard for me to cheer for myself. It's hard for me to be like, let's go, baby. Let's go. Like, I've never been able to master that type of empowering energy. I love a compliment. So, and honestly, I can, attribute it back to my relationship with my mother. She was very complimentary about my intelligence. You're so smart. Look at you. Go ahead and get him, baby. Even when I played football, she was, she was the one at my game cheering. And so why you look like this? So, to watch this brother put full energy into cheering himself. It wasn't like a quiet cheer. You know what I mean? He beating his chest. Let's go, baby. Loud, full of energy. And I envy that. I was like, I got to learn how to do that. I had never seen it before. I seen people charge other people up, and again, come on, baby, to other players, other people, but not to themselves. And so I'm really interested in modeling that behavior to see if it works for me, because I've never seen it before. Therefore, I never did it for myself. Now, what makes it a weakness is if you have people in your life that don't cheer for you, the message is you ain't doing nothing for them to cheer about.
Sheesh.
And so that's where my rubber meets the road in terms of my psyche and my ability to be functional or be successful in whatever I'm doing. If I don't have that cheering section, it's hard for me to get up and go, because I start to, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, all the things that were born out of my experience in society that shaped me. I need that cheering section. I'm not claiming it. I'm just talking about that's how it's been. So to watch this brother, it really inspired me, because I was like, when he first did it, I was like, that's odd.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is you doing? Come on, baby. Come on.
It's wild, because I've known you so long, Mikhail. And it's funny because we've had this conversation, right, Warren, with Mikhail. We'd be like, Mikhail, like, Warren called Mikhail Jordan, you know what I'm saying? And called us, I'm pimping and thief, or whatever.
I'll be Rodman. Fuck.
Yeah, or Rodman. And for me, it shocked me that Mikhail, when it came to this mental health shit, didn't see himself as Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because everybody that I come into contact with that have interacted with Mikhail, had conversations with Mikhail. Hell, Mikhail, we did that Bourbon and Brotherhood event.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get up the elevator good one of them ladies was like, "Oh, you know, oh, you do the show with Mikael? Oh man, that man right there. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker put me in my place." and it's crazy because there was another lady there, probably one of your former clients. She was like, "I need to start going back to Mikael. I bullshit," you know. And for me, I was like, they know he Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's wild to me that somebody is good at what you do as you don't like feel that, right? Like that's a wild that's just that's why I look like that. I was like, man, damn.
No, bro, it's real. I don't care what nobody tell you. If they say, you know, that's one of the reasons why I be kind of getting on you, Warren, about we be calling folk lazy. Like it ain't really lazy. Sometimes it is just pure self-doubt that has been reinforced. And if you feel like something's gonna fail, then you might not put an effort into it. That's psychological. It's not really that they don't want to get out of bed, that they don't want to wash their ass. It literally is just this cloud that has been ever present in their lives for whatever reason. Like, you know, I could pathologize a lot of things, but you know, as I worked through myself, I just noticed how my reaction to his display was. Like, once I got through the fact that he was reading Charlotte's Web, and this brother was really, the fact that he's sitting in a car doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like he was in a classroom. He's not put himself in a space where he's put himself where he's isolated in public, reading a book and in tears and cheering for himself because he's gonna finish his book, because that was right at the last chapter, right?
Yeah.
And he's about to finish his book, and he's fighting to that last yard, and that to me was what kind of captivated me. But when I was noticing how he did, I was like, man, I need to chill like that. See what that feel like. And I tried it. It feels awkward as hell. Yeah. But that's because it's not something I practice. You know, it's like putting on your pants if you used to put your pants on right leg first, and then you put your left leg in first one time, it'll be like, man, what the hell? You'll go ahead and put it on, but you'll feel this awkwardness.
Yeah.
And that's what it was for me. So I think for me, I have to get into the practice. And this is not like positive affirmation thing. Like, I know I'm smart. Like, I don't have to do that. I know I'm strong. I know I'm courageous. It literally is, when you're facing something difficult, be able to cheer for yourself. When you feel like everything's stacked against you, be able to cheer for yourself. Come on, baby. Come on.
Yeah, it's that extra.
That, yeah.
It's that extra. It's that hype.
I've always gotten it externally. I've never, and it only comes from the women in my life. So it was my mom. At one point, it was my sister. It should be my wife, but that's not her background. You know, she come from bootstrap. Get your own ass. I ain't the fuck, I ain't no cheerleader. We doing that corny shit. Like,
wake your ass up, do what you
need to do. Right, do what you need to do. And to me, I'm like, oh, you don't care about me because you are my cheerleader. So that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, that's what happened. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person in the world that kind of suffers from the lack of being able to cheer for themselves. But there's just so much to take away from this brother. I mean, I think we covered it all. I was going to mention the healing part.
No, there's another big aspect I don't think we've covered, because the video doesn't provide this. But he has children, and Warren kind of touched on what you have to pass down to your children, right? And his children can read better than him.
And that's why he keeps saying he should know better. He should be able to do this by now.
He has kids. And the only reason I know this because he was on the news. I mean, you know, he went viral. The news kind of picked up the story, and you know, kind of wanted to draw attention to the fact that, once again, he's not alone. Right. You know, there's a vast majority of people who were pretending, you know, who were I ain't got my glasses, or you know,
Right.
can you get this for me? That type of thing. And he was saying that the hardest part is coming home when he's saying I'm supposed to know this because he got a, you know, 5th grade daughter who can read better than him. You know, he has a son that may be able to can read better than him. And
Right.
so, you know, just kind of thinking about, and you know, and like I said, I always take it past just the reading. I start to see things my kids have that I didn't have as a
How about
kid.
that?
You know what I'm saying? I start to see like the emotional intelligence that they have, the
Mhm.
maturity that they have, the I mean, because nowadays kids get information differently than we got.
Mhm.
And so even like I just came back from France, like my kids know, oh, you know, I was telling them like, hey, it's something cool. We took a picture in the middle of the street, you know, in front of the Eiffel Tower. She's like, that's like what everybody's supposed to do that. Like, I'm like, how the hell you
It's
know that?
like,
Like, how the hell you know that? You know what I'm saying?
it's like, bro, that ain't special.
No, exactly. Or I wore a beret on my head, and I thought the beret just, you know, you just throw that thing on straight. It's like, no, you have to tilt it. You
Right.
know, and it's like just the fact that they know things, they develop things, they have things that I didn't have, a level of culture that I didn't have, a level of understanding,
Standing.
yeah, that I didn't
Mm.
have. Sometimes it's like, man, you know, and you don't like, I don't like to think like that, but I do wonder sometimes, like, where would I be if I had that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what would my life look like if I had, you know, this type of upbringing? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even on Fridays, they do $3 ices, you know, at their school,
Mm.
and I was the type of kid growing up, I couldn't get that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? $3 ices. My mom was like, it's for y'all. I ain't got, you know,
$12.
crew.
I ain't
Right.
got $12 for y'all every Friday.
Damn, $3.
And I mean, yeah, but the reality, but even that, for sometimes when I give them that $3, bro, sometimes I go upstairs, my eyes are misty, bro. Like, because they got something I didn't get. You know, you start talking about when you
Facts.
say I gotta heal, like the child inside of me was like, damn, I really wanted them ices when I was a kid, or whatever it was.
Bruh, can
You
I
know,
just add, can I tag again on
yeah.
that? I wanted to take martial arts when I was a kid. My kids got a chance to do that. I wanted to do, you know, whatever I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, because that's how they live right now.
They do. They live like that a little bit, right?
Right.
Oh, you want to do this? Okay, we'll register you for it. you
Yeah, we'll
know?
register and we'll go. Like, I wanted to do 4-H club. Mm-mm. That's partially tied to racism, but you
Yeah.
know, it didn't
Yeah.
happen. This is the point.
Gotcha.
My kids were able to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, when we talk about how advanced our children are, or how advanced the generations after us, to kind of reflect back to the brother, he's playing catch up while he's still being the Superman for his kids. You know what I mean? Can you imagine the stress that he has as they matriculate and he has to be there for them? And, you know, teachers send emails, they give written documents, like you get sent home forms. He
Every
can't
day.
read them. He can't, does he even know where to sign them? Does he have a signature? You follow what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because to be able to read, you got to be able to write. If you can't read, can you write? That don't make sense. So his daily struggle is the daily struggle of a large proportion of Americans. I'm not going to say whether they're black and white, because the average includes the entire population. But the importance of that video and the importance of his story making the news, hopefully, is one that touches the lives of those that are with a similar struggle, that are just kind of like faking the funk. Like, you don't have to be stuck in the place that you're in right now. Just because you can't do something right now doesn't mean that that's where you'll have to be tomorrow. You know, just take the first step.
And as long as you have breath in your lungs.
As long as you have breath in your lungs.
When he said I'm breathing, I felt that so much. And it's two things I want to touch on real quick. That's
Yeah.
So Mikhail, going back to hyping yourself up.
Mm.
Because I'm listening to you talk. I think about when I'm in the gym or when I'm at Orange Theory, and let's say going through it. I mean, it's a hard set. I hate doing cardio, but you know, whatever. You
Mhm.
towards the end, it's like, bruh, you got this. Keep going, keep going. Like I say to myself that often. Or let's say I ain't give everything I'm supposed to have. Hey,
Right.
you bullshitting. Let's go. Let's step it up. And it's weird to me hearing you say, "Oh, I don't do that," or "I don't hype myself up like that to get it going." I always think of KG, because that motherfucker would talk shit in the game, and people like, "Yo, is he talking to me?" He's like, "Nah, he's talking to himself. He's hyping
Right.
himself up in the game, good or bad,
Well,
like he's talking to himself."
let
And
me
then
say this. Hold
huh?
on. Let me say this. Let me say this. It's there's different types of
Okay,
hyping, and so the hyping that I'm accustomed to involves anger. His seemed to be spirit. You know what I mean? Mine is like, oh, I'm gonna show these motherfuckers. It's
Mm.
that type of energy. Or if I'm in the gym, it's like, come on, motherfucker. Like it's I kind of I can't remember my man's name. Damn it.
but what you
No,
just
I'm
did,
saying that
I equate that to what that brother was doing.
no, what that brother was doing was reinforcing and empowering himself. There's a difference between like I don't want everything that I do that's positive born out of me being angry to push through it. So
Understood.
like my excelling when I did excel in college was born out of the fact that I came up in a society that said, "Black man, you ignorant, you don't know shit, you can't do
I
shit."
get you.
Oh, I'm gonna show you, motherfucker, what I can do.
Mm.
Dean's List, bitch. Like that kind of energy. That I don't want that to be the only way I motivate myself. I
So we're
want it to
talking.
come
I get
from
what you're saying now.
We're talking external motivation versus
versus
internal
internal.
motivation.
That's right, locus
Yeah.
of control. And
Yeah.
I don't have the positive internal locus of control to get me where I feel like I need to be. It always ends up turning into I'm gonna show these motherfuckers. And I don't that's not I feel like that's more stressful and not as endearing as
I just
come
want
on,
to be
Mikhail.
better because I want to
Yeah,
be better. I
right.
don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about what's.
Yeah.
And
I'm
So
doing
so
this solely for me.
but that's not what I learned, and I got to learn something different. But that's my vulnerability. That's my honesty about my struggle. It's like I'm obviously I say obviously I can be motivated. I've accomplished things in my life, right? But the things that I accomplished, the bruhs, all that came through. I'm gonna show these motherfuckers. It never was born out of, oh, I love doing this and I must have this. It's always a showed you, bitch. What? You know, like, and that ain't even who I am anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that young guy anymore, but that young energy like that is what keeps coming up. And I gotta figure
I
that
have to
shit out.
say I mean I've I don't want to say take shots, but I've expressed some of the troubles that I had growing up from my father, like a good relationship. But I didn't get it when I was younger, but I get it now just hearing you talk. A's, B's. Dad, look at this. I got this for you. Like you said, you want A's and B's. If I don't get A's and B's, I'm getting punishment. So I got this for you. And every time, you ain't doing this for me, boy. You doing this for yourself. And I used to hate that shit.
Mm-hmm.
God, I hate it when I'm like, what the fuck you mean I'm for me? If I don't do it, I'm in you. And then as I got older and matriculated and got to college, it's now like, yo, I'm in the world by myself. I'm going to be in the world by myself. I have to learn how to do shit for myself by myself. And even now, like, I'm kind of with, like, somebody said, hey, you got to lose 20 pounds by yourself. Just lose 20 pounds for yourself. Okay, I get to it. But if somebody said, hey, something gonna happen to Mikhail if he don't lose 20 pounds. I'm in the gym. I'm changing how I eat. Like the whole motivation is
Right.
different. If
Right.
somebody said, "Hey, Warren, you lose 20 pounds, 5,000 goes to these kids over here in this particular program," I'm switching shit up like
That's it.
easily.
That's what
Like,
that's external locus of control. That's what we're
yeah,
talking
so
about.
I
Yeah.
get where you coming from in regards to like, because I mean, I've gone on my like weight loss, you know, just for myself because I don't like the way I look, whatever. But then I'll go right back to it. It's never been a point to where, as I just said to myself, like, yo, I'm doing this strictly for me. So I get where you're coming from there. Now, when I go to the gym and I'm lifting, it's like for me, that's like a place of peace at this
I
point.
mean, yeah, you present.
Yeah.
You're present.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's like, nah, we gonna get this motherfucking weight up.
I-
Stop acting like a bitch, get it up.
Listen, remember when I got really in shape?
Yeah.
Where I was like, so
I
all
remember,
of that was born out of anger.
Mm.
I was mad at Courtney. I was mad at the industry I was in. I was mad at me. I was anxious about being a dad. Like all this energy, and the results were amazing, right? But as soon as I wasn't mad no more,
Yeah. Nah.
He said happy weight. That's
right.
what
The happiness came
Well, that
back.
literally was happy weight.
Jolly.
I need to be angry. All right.
And that's the part that's crazy. So I love the video for that. Like,
yeah.
Because put it this way, I've seen
Yeah.
people say it. I've never seen us do it. And to see a brother that looked like he is shape, he's young, he's purposeful. And I was like, I can relate to all of that. And to see how he's what's the word I'm looking for? Not self-motivated, but just how he is self-contained.
Yeah.
He's not doing.
He made it clear. He said, my emotions don't have me. I have
my emotions. That's right.
And that was, for me, that was the biggest thing. It was like it's all self-contained. It's all him, me versus me.
Right.
It's you didn't even, he's saying now I'm supposed to know this, but he not even bringing up I didn't even know he had kids until I watched another
video.
For me it was just like, it just seemed clear that look, this is something. He's like, I decided I'm going to go on this journey, and I'm gonna be battling myself.
And we're watching the battle.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it definitely, to me, just kind of it gave
inspiring.
me a different. It's inspiring.
Mhm.
That's the best way
for
you
that,
can
brother. Like it brought us.
Hell, I'm rooting for me. But, with all due respect.
Yeah, I agree. I
appreciate that, brother, but I'm rooting for me right now. Like, come on.
I'm with Mikhail. Like, there's some things I want to accomplish that I need to really dig down into my internal locus of control in order to accomplish, because we all got something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for some people learning how to read, others is
others is finishing a book.
Learn how to ride
finishing a book, learning how to write about being financially responsible, all kinds of things. And so the reality is, there's sometimes it's not just about affirming yourself, but it's about hyping yourself in those moments when it's rough, and you are at the end being able to get yourself over that hump, man. I think that was what I got from that video, man. It was super inspiring.
Yeah, I pray everybody else did too.
Super vulnerable, man. Like, that level of vulnerability is just, it's next level. Like I said, it's only a couple of, for me, when I look at black men and vulnerability and putting it out there, like Warren said, a lot of black men think like him and his brother, like record a man, grown man recording himself crying and going through. It's a little, it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult to do, and I'm just glad that he did it, because the level of inspiration I got from it.
My life.
Nah, don't all y'all niggas start recording yourselves crying and shit.
By all means, feel free, brothers. Feel free.
If
it's gonna help you heal, if you're gonna heal from it, do it.
Look at the masculinity wars over here. We got
Hey, sprinkle some of that toxicity in.
Get that pepper out of here.
But-
Get that salt out of here.
I know, right?
But this brother get
yeah.
a pass, all right? He good.
I
don't
know.
bother him. He all right. He good in the
Warden gave one pass away, man. Anything. Anyway, man, look, for more conversations like these, man, please, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and follow us.
Support,
Facebook,
support.
Instagram, You Good Bruh Podcast. Twitter is You Good Bruh Pod. And please go on the YouTube, subscribe, share, like, comment. Send this to 3 or 4 people that you know that need it.
Right. So we can grow this conversation.
So we can exactly expand this conversation, man. I'm Sam Duke, and I'm good.
Hey, I'm Tel McHale, and I'm good.
I'm Warren P, and I'm good.
And just like that, we out.